how do we do our healing work and not stay stuck in healing cycles and honor the process and be exactly where we are and be present and sit with the discomfort and be open to it being easier? This is something that was sparked by a post I made in a Facebook group, which I love posting Facebook groups because it always, for me, is interesting to see people's comments and where they're at on their journey and like their understanding of this, and also be open to different perspectives, right? And I posted something about saying how, manifesting what you want really is not difficult. Is just about releasing the old ways of being. It's actually quite simple. Now, I didn't say that it's easy. I said it's simple. And then someone was commenting on there saying like, oh, but, it can take a really long time, the healing, and it's not that simple and it's not that easy. And I agree and I disagree. And here's the thing. I teach the healing work and I help a lot of people understand that if they've just been doing the mindset and not seeing the shifts, that likely the inner healing work, understanding your emotions, emotional intelligence, nervous system regulation, really healing, being present, being in your body, expanding your capacity to receive, like those are probably the things you're overlooking. However, I also get the clients who have been doing all the healing, but they're kind of staying stuck there because they're missing the mindset piece. They're like buying into the story that it needs to be difficult and they're not healed yet. And, that like they need to work through all of these things in order to get the shifts. And I don't believe that either. Like you can do both. And this is why I always say that I combine mindset and energetics to help you really step into your power. So I want to introduce this idea to you today of both, not but, not or, just and. I think that this is a concept that is actually quite nuanced. I don't see a lot of people teaching it, but for me, along my journey and what I witness with my clients, no matter where they're at, if they're coming to me from the mindset or the more healing side or both, whatever, is that a lot of power is in the and. Because when we say and instead of but or, we are stepping out of duality, we're moving beyond that, and you're actually embodying more unity within yourself, which by default, when you do that, you start to experience being more connected with the things in the world around you instead of like having separation and limits and blocks. So how can you be where you are, be present with the things you're struggling with, whether that's a condition in your body, whether that's a limiting mindset, whether that's emotional stuff you haven't worked through, whether it's frustration that you haven't manifested certain things that you wanted or changes, whether that's you feel blocked in some way, whatever it is, how can you be with the discomfort of where you are and be willing to show up and do the inner alignment work because it is an inner game, and at the same time hold space for, okay, maybe I've been on this healing or manifesting journey for a long time and I'm open to magic and miracles, and I'm open to the idea that maybe my mind is overcomplicating this, and I'm holding space for the infinite intelligence within me to just do its thing and work its magic, and for things to just resolve quickly. Like things don't have to take forever. And if this specific area does take a little longer, I'm okay with the unfolding. It's that kind of surrender that ironically like allows for things to shift. I just think you want to be careful that you don't get in the mindset that it needs to take a long time. And simultaneously, you don't want to be coming at it from this rushed, frantic energy of this should have been done already. I need this to clear right away, because that's actually a lack mentality too. So do you see how the nuance is like being between the two, finding that sweet spot in the middle where we're not limiting ourselves with our mind of this needs to take long, but we're also not saying, oh, this can't happen fast, this needs to be a long process. Do you understand what I'm saying? So to me, it's kind of about like zooming out and moving beyond time completely. It's deep radical acceptance. And if you want a good book to read about this, actually there's two. The Surrender Experiment's really good, and also Power versus Force is another really good book. And yeah, it is nuanced, and I guess it might take a little practice to get there, but I just invite you today to ask yourself, how can I let this be easier? What if it didn't need to take long? How can I just eliminate the concept of time and just be here and know that it's all working? knowing that it's all working out. So, a lot of what I teach is really how to move beyond your perceived limits as a human, right? We don't want to be trying to manifest and heal from our human. You really want to embody your God state. So, this is going to line up a lot with Law of Assumption, Neville Goddard teachings, but I do teach it a little differently. I know a lot of people there are like just drilling in the mindset. I do address it on an emotional component. We do somatic practices, body-based practices. We work on regulating and expanding your nervous system. I approach it from all angles because I found that that's the quickest way to not just get results, but also create the actual shift within you so that this becomes a new pattern for you, not where you manifest something in once and then you can't hold it, or you're doing all this healing work and never actually get the manifestation, right? We want to combine the two because again, this is about transcending duality. You want to start embodying more of your God self, which is unity consciousness. And where I really agree with the law of assumption and the self concept work is to not, I don't like when people are getting hung up on like affirming two specific things. Like you definitely can, but you want to really make sure like that the internal state you're embodying more frequently, like most of the time, is I am infinite. Everything is working out for me. From my God consciousness, like there are no problems. I'm free to let go of this. Like the problems, the things I think I need to heal from are just memories in my mind, and I'm free to let those go. And the more you practice being present, the more you practice just being in your body, any type of breath work or EFT or meditation or anything that's going to help shift your energy, you'll notice those old patterns and limits fall away. They start dissolving on their own without you needing to struggle and figure out what you need to heal. Does this make sense? Let me know. I know that depending on where people are at on their journey and their understanding of this, that might seem triggering or seem like what I'm saying is like invalidating or counteracting what I just said. But I really find that it's like those two ends actually, you don't want to be on either end, you want to be in the middle. And I think that that's where a lot of these neutrality practices are really important. It's not saying that you can't ever be specific, but it's like, how can you intend and surrender at the same time? So I would love to know how this resonated for you, if it makes sense. Also, guys, if you would like to jump into my world, if you're new, hi, welcome. I'm Hannah. I combine mindset and energetics to help you step into your power and really manifest the lasting changes that you want, okay? I have lots of free gifts and offers for you, including my free self-concept affirmation track and my 21-day intuition activation. So if you're looking to get started for free, those are ways. And then I also have mentorship and a lot of healing and manifestation programs you can check out with the link at my page. I'll see you next time.